Omar, what are kids into these days?
I don't know what
Attack
they
on
do.
Titan. I think I'm a year late though.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, probably. They're also they
Kids,
never.
what are you into these days?
I think they're into all of it. They're into every damn thing you can do. There's nothing they aren't into. My son watches Dick Van Dyke reruns.
No way.
And listens to
Fortnite?
gangster rap and likes wants to play Fortnite 24 hours a day. Like they got all of it. They're doing everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Cocaine, heroin, whatever.
Whatever they can get their hands
Moving on
on.
to LSD, I mean.
Yeah, all of it.
Make sure you cover all the bases.
Get your bases, son. All right, we are ready to go, folks. I'm going to kick it off here and do a little pass to Bo. Oh, I was going to have an email today.
Do you have an email? Do you want to plug t-shirt?
Yes, I will talk about that as well. Although I may, I'll do it up top. Why not?
It's like bringing a piece of There'll Be Dungeons to your own home.
Mm-hmm.
A piece of flesh, of gibbering flesh.
Of gibbering flesh.
In t-shirt form.
Okay, where's the email, though? Okay, sorry. Gosh dang it. I thought I had all this stuff.
I think
already.
Gmail has email sometimes.
Yeah, it does. It's the place to go to get it.
Sorry.
Well done,
oh, here it is. Dear Adventurers, is this the one? Each week. Okay, yep, we got a good one here. Okay. All right. Here goes then. I'm going to start it off with a little countdown. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to There Will Be Dungeons. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Bo Schwartz. There's Kyle. There's Kristen. There's John. Hi, everybody. Wave at the camera. Hello. We're back for session 11 of There Will Be Dungeons. And before we dive right back into the adventure, a couple of quick bits of business. Would like to read an email from a listener who said the following. Dear Adventurers. His name is Omar, by the way. I want to start off by saying this show has gotten me through some really rough times lately. It has brought me so much joy and laughter into my life that now that I've finally finished my degree, I am in the process of trying to join a local group for my first D&D encounter ever. After receiving a starter set from my wife, I love all the characters and the amount of pride and love you put into each character and how they act and talk. I love how much Bo is putting into the DM work, and I think he's doing an absolutely wonderful job reining everyone in while still keeping it fun. Thank you for the great show. Please continue to make these, and I will listen and watch every week. P.S. If you ever have an official TWBD dice set, I will be the first to get a crack at those. Safe travels, Omar. Well, Omar, I have 2 bits of good news. You said dice. Also, dice bags are possible. There's some stuff going on. Let's just say that. All right? So you may get your wish. I'm not going to make any firm commitments, but something soon like that. Like, for example, if you want to go get a t-shirt in the store right now at frogpants.com or go to therewillbedungeons.com, either one. Click the store link up top and you'll see a t-shirt that says There Will Be Dungeons with a image of the gibbering mouther. Right, Bo? Am I saying it right? Gibbering? Blathering? What is it?
It's a gibbering mouther.
Gibbering mouther.
As far as I can tell.
Yeah, and I did a rendition of this. You can see the full color one here, chat room, and those watching the video. We made a black and white version for a t-shirt, and that's available on the store right this second, so you can absolutely get that now. And there'll be more coming, and dice is definitely in the cards, to mix my metaphors. What else? I think that's everything. Oh, don't forget, therewillbedungeons.com. It's got links to some of the cool stuff we have going on in the campaign, including some artwork, images of the Fate 4, our Intrepid vehicle, and our world map, and so much more. And there's a bunch of new stuff being added to that later today, once I get a chance. So, great reference for those who may be looking for a good reference. I think that's everything. I always forget, I feel like there's something I'm supposed to say at the top of this that I'm missing now. Have I got it all?
No, I think so.
All right. Send your emails. There's a contact link on the website as well. Therewillbedungeons.com. We'd love to read yours just like Omar's, and thank you again, Omar, for your email. I now give over to Bo the shiny key with the skeleton on it that starts the car that is our custom D&D campaign. Bo, take it away.
Previously on There Will Be Dungeons. Hope and Varel are reunited with Stanley and Nash. In the desert, Stanley and Nash fell into a hole, and resurfaced a day later. And they didn't have much time to catch up with one another as the Toyota host was bearing down upon them. After a long chase involving car crashes, people falling asleep at the wheel, bathroom break, the longest bathroom break in the history of bathroom breaks, and heads melting, the party finally stopped their vehicles to confront their pursuers, a giant war band of savage warriors. They were informed that they were under arrest, and they were informed by a member of the Kishi named Sir Blackdrink and his partner, Sir Steelballs. They advised that they had transgressed the principal's laws by attacking a protected convoy. And that would be the Goblin Raiders, who stole 24 of Dust Hill citizens, which the hero was trying to recover. Seeing that their fate was sealed and numbers were against them, they acquiesced to being arrested and were brought to Slave Town to face justice. They learned that justice came in the form of mortal combat and entered a cage with the naked old man that they had found versus 5 of the Kishi's finest initiates in a battle to the death. Our heroes emerged triumphant, having slain the Kishi initiates, with the crowd belting out cheers for our new heroes. The magistrate walks in and addresses the crowd. Now, do you want to bring the music up? Because we're getting.
Is this about it?
Yeah, because you do the whole wait for it.
Well, yeah, but we've been to have we been? You tell them about the town. We're in town now, right? Isn't that the deal? We're in town.
Well, that's now. So
yeah.
I'm done. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to do the
Here
music
it comes,
thing,
big finish. All right, well done. A fine summation of what has come before.
Well done.
Yeah. All right, take it away. I'm so excited. We're in town.
Yeah. All right, so you are in the rusty cage. You have just killed 5 of these giant orcs who were unchromed. There is a crowd hanging all around this rusted cage, and they're all cheering, "Yeah, for the principal!" And they're going nuts. Unfortunately, the old man who was partying with you is dead. And as a side note, I had a fun interaction with this guy, Kevin, on Twitter, who was like, "Oh man, he couldn't wait for the old man to do something." And I was like, "Oh, it's too bad for you. Check a little later." So I'm glad someone cared about the old man. However, he's perished. He's dead. He's got a sledgehammer wound in the back of his head, and his skull is caved in. So as the cheering occurs, the magistrate has walked in and he addresses the crowd and he says, "Rejoice! The principal's justice has been done this day. It has been decided that these 4 are innocent. And it is a historic day, for very rarely is anyone ever innocent in the principal's laws and eyes, I mean. Rejoice for our new champions." And the crowd cheers. And as that cheering happens, you actually see the door behind him swing open again. And you see the large orc from the host that attacked you, Sir Blackdrink. And he walks into the middle, and he looks at you, each of you in the eye, as the crowd sort of cheers, "Yeah!" And he starts ripping off pieces of armor, throwing them on the ground.
Wow.
So he takes off his front pad, he takes off his shoulders, he slides them off on the back, takes off his little helmet he's got on. But you can see his arm is completely chromed. That he can't take off. And he takes off, he's got that blunderbuss kind of gun. He sort of throws it to the ground, kicks off his sandals. And then he takes some of his padded armor. He kneels and forms a mat on it and then kneels on the matted armor. And he takes his katana and sets it forward in front of him. And he kneels and he stares ahead. And then the magistrate looks to you guys and says, "Please kneel.
I'll kneel."
It's part of the ceremony. Please kneel."
All right.
All right.
We'll kneel.
All right.
I kneel. I hear one of my tumors pop on my knee, and it's super painful.
Ah,
I look back at Nash.
Yeah. I'm not
This
happy
is-
about it. I'll
do
do
you
it,
roll
but I'm
for-
not happy about it. It's fine.
Okay. Everyone kneels. The tumor hear pop. You all can hear it, but no one else can hear it. It's so loud. And then the magistrate motions his hands, and everyone is quiet. And you can just hear a bird. You can just hear it's weird because there often aren't birds in the desert, but you hear a little bird chirping in the background. Apart from that, it's quiet for how many people there are there. And then the orc, Sir Black Drink, takes the sword and unsheaths it and stares at you, Vorel. Not with anger, but with intensity. But he's looking at you right in your eye, kind of, because your eyes are on the side of your head. But you know he's looking at you. He takes the sword and he sinks it into his belly,
Whoa.
and then draws it across to the right, and then brings it up, and then lets his hand go of the blade, and now he's like shaking, he's convulsing, but he's just trying to be stoic at the same time. And this silent affair happens for a solid 5 minutes as you watch this orc die in front of you. Finally, after 5 minutes of just watching this orc convulse but try and be still, he collapses over. His eyes roll up, and he collapses over, hits the ground with a loud thud.
Wow. That's one way to
I
do it.
never broke eye contact for it.
And the magistrate says, "You have performed the ceremony with honor." And he gets him and says, "That is all. Justice is served today. Return to your affairs." And then the crowd slowly starts to disperse and move away. Now, as the crowd starts to leave, two more orcs enter into the rusty cage behind them, carrying large sacks. And these are two orcs that you haven't seen before, but they are similarly dressed with katanas and guns equipped on their holster, and this padded like riot gear style armor with these strange hats with these steel guards on the side. And they both come in, and they drop the bags down in front of you. And the magistrate says, these are your things.
But where's my
They
car?
are being returned to you. Your car's in the parking lot.
Oh,
It's
thank
safe. Rest assured, we are honorable, and we would have done nothing until you were proven guilty in this court of law that we have. But you are innocent, and you are free to go. And the magistrate bows to you, and he takes his leave from the cage as well. The two orcs, after having dropped off the goods, one of them, they say, like, if you guys are still kneeling, they say to get up with their hand in a hand motion, like.
Okay.
And then one of the two comes forward and says, "You fought with honor. You've beaten some of our best initiates in the Kishi. And we would like to tell you, if you were so interested in pursuing a life of discipline and honor, you should visit us at the Kishi house in town, and we can begin your application. You are great warriors, and it would be with great honor that we would accept you into our house. I'm Lady Saltbubble." And you're like, "Whoa, that's a lady." "I'm Lady Saltbubble, and this here is Sir Chicken Finger."
Why,
Sir Chicken Finger just...
if you don't mind me asking, where'd you get the lovely names?
This was the name I was given when I became a Kishi.
Why do
All
they
of our
call
initiates.
you Lady Salt Bubble? What's the origin of that?
It's my name. It is what I'm called.
It's not because you got salty stuff or something weird like that. It's just like, what's the deal?
I don't understand what the question means.
Well, most people have normal names like
have
Bill or Nash, right? So my thinking is you ought to have a normal name, and then if they gave you a name, it's because you did something valiant on the battlefield or in your training, and then they gave you a name. So if they gave you the name Salt Bubble, it's like Dances with Wolves. What's it mean? What's it for?
Our names don't have meaning. They are
Shit.
without meaning. The fact that we even have a name is an arrogant privilege.
Whoa.
Ooh.
But you would learn much once you join up. You sign up to become Korobo Kishi. But until such time, our secrets remain our own. And Sir Chicken Finger says, Here are your goods in the bags. You may re-equip yourselves. You'll find that nothing is missing. And should anything be missing, please report it to me.
I immediately dig through from my megaphone and check to see if the amulet is still wrapped around the handle.
Both of those things are there.
And
you dig through and you're like, and then you take out the things that matter to you and you find them there.
the dictionary,
Ditto.
the rapier,
Mm-hmm.
the immovable rod.
All of your things are there.
Well, okay, but there is a question to the rod as it was last seen being thrown at my head.
It's in there.
Great.
And the key.
Sweet, I'll start grabbing my
Clarity,
stuff.
out of character, all of your items are in the bag. Of course, you haven't looked in the bag yet, but all of your items are returned.
I've watched Stanley go meticulously through his entire bag. I reach into my very limp bag and pull out my one water skin with a gold sack attached to it and put it on.
Okay, perfect. Now, as you guys are filtering through your bags, there's a human sort of walks in, and the two orcs, look at this human and then say, "We will now excuse ourselves." And they bow to you and they walk out. And as there's like a lot less people around as everyone's sort of gone back to resuming whatever business it was, and the trial's over. And the two orcs also take their leave, and a human scratching his face. He slinks by the orcs and looks up at them. He just
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Hope. Who are you?
I'm the name's Slippery.
Well, nice to
Well,
meet
that
you,
bodes
Slippery.
well.
You guys did really well. You guys did really well in that fight. Don't hurt me.
Uh-huh.
So
Is there something we can do for you, Fred?
I thought since since you're alive, which is incredible. You guys fought amazingly. I thought maybe you I've thought maybe you might want a guide into town, or maybe look. I have this, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a case. He's like, I've got a map of town, if that would be something you were interested, so you could find your way around.
And how much would your guidance or that map cost us?
It's gonna be a fair. It'll be a fair price. Just 50 gold. That's it. 50 gold, and I'll give you the map. You can really use it, And I'm not that good of a guide, anyways. Just take the map, and they'll take the 50 gold, and that'll be good.
DM question: is he? What race is this little guy? What is he?
He's a human.
Human.
He's a
Okay.
human. He's got like orange hair. He's got like beady eyes. He's wearing like a train conductor's hat, and he's got like little orangey hair. And he's got like a pinstripe like sort of blazer on, but it's all looks like it's the same one he's been wearing for like century or decades. He's a human, but it's old. He's like. So what do you say? You want the map? You want the map? It's 50 gold. It's a good deal, right? I mean, I can't remember the last time I got a map for under 200 gold. I mean, it's crazy. 50 gold.
Let me go ahead and give you a little tip. Number one, if you're going to try to take advantage of people, you may want to make up an alias and not go by the name Slippery. It puts people off right out of the gate.
That's
Number
it.
two, 50 gold is ridiculous for that map, and we're not interested.
Sorry, I'm laughing. This is not the character laughing. I'm just laughing at you right now. Okay. Slippery is my name. People gave me the name. I heard you guys
can't
talking to the other orcs
imagine
too. I don't know why you guys are so hung up about what people's names are. You're like name critics or something. It's kind of weird, but maybe you're right. Okay, so the 50 gold is still expensive, but it's not stolen. This is a map. How about 40 gold? 40 gold. I'll give it to you for 40. 40 gold is a helpful map, I think.
Maybe he's more
I'll stand
useful.
up and start walking past him.
He might be more useful to take him with us.
I'll follow the lizard.
I have a piece of paper. I can draw a map for
Okay,
free.
30. I'll give it to you for 30. 30 gold. It's not stolen. I don't know who told you it was stolen. It's not stolen. It's 30 gold, and I'll give
No
you
one
the map.
said it was stolen.
Yeah, who said it was stolen? We
I'll
didn't
yell
say
back.
stolen.
I mean, come on, please. I got like a wife and children, and I have to feed them. And I really need the money. 20 gold. Jump at it. It's so good. This is a good deal. It's a good deal.
We'll give you 5.
I will give you 1 gold for the map and 1 gold to go away.
Look, all right. Look, I lied about the family thing. I don't have a wife. I'm really desperate. Do you guys know what pixie blush is?
Pixie
I'm
blush.
guessing you do quite well.
Well, I need some pixie blush, and it costs at least 15 gold, and I need 15 gold. It costs that much. Can you spare? Can you lend me 15 gold, and I'll give you the
Sounds
map?
like the most honest thing he's said so far.
What's pixie
Well,
dust?
He's
Blush.
certainly getting back in the ballpark of reality, but I am not interested. Like I said, I will give you 1 gold for the map and 1 gold to go away.
Okay, fine. I'll take the gold, but can you lend me 10 more gold on top of that? Not as part of the deal, just as a separate thing. Can you lend me 10 gold?
When you
I
say
hold out
lend,
2 gold and an open hand.
yeah.
He
When
says,
you
okay.
say, listen, Nash goes, when you say a loan, we don't think you have any intention to pay that back.
Well, of course I can pay it back. That's what borrowing means. I'm going to borrow it.
You've already
Ask people around town. I'm good. I'm good for it.
You've
I'm
already
good.
lied
They're
like
good
4
with this.
times, 4 different lies I can point to. Why are we trusting you on the loan?
I mean, I wasn't lying. It's just, I didn't know. I mean, we don't know each other very well. I mean, it's business. It's just
Have we already made the exchange at this point?
no.
Okay. 2 gold. Give me the map.
Okay. He takes out the map. He proffers it to you, and he takes up
Take
for
it.
2 gold.
Give him 2
And he
gold.
says, "Okay, that map, the map's pretty useful. It's a useful map." Now, so the person I work for, the real reason I'm here is he wanted to extend you an invitation to come to his establishment. He's very happy with you. You've made him a lot of money, and he wants to congratulate you and maybe give you something. So you should when you get a chance, you'll see it on the map there that he gave to me to give to you. It's a place called the Buxom Confederate. Huh? You can see it there. You can see it. Just open up the map.
I see it.
Right. So there. That's my boss. His name is Celibus Stump.
Celibus Stump.
Yes, that's my boss's name. Why is that one laughing? It's a name. You guys are name critics, aren't you?
We loved it. Well, it's how we get to know everyone, right? Names are how we
Slippery.
identify one another and build stories.
That 2nd goal was to go away.
Okay, so he gets the message. He's like, okay. And he starts to go away. And as he turns around, you notice you're getting yet another visitor. But before we have a look at the visitor, so for the benefit of the audience, you guys kind of saw this a little bit earlier in the week, but you've got a map of Slave Town.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and Scott, did you want to show it
Yep.
to our audience?
I'm going to show it right now. I thought I had it handy. Keep talking and I'll
For audio listeners, you can go to the site there'llbedungeons.com, look up the assets, and it should be in there by the time you're hearing this.
Yeah.
I don't
should be.
know if this will work, but I have a link that I have it pulled open with. So.
I'm going to put it up in our Slack here, too, so if you need to see it again.
Yeah, we've had a lot of discussion since I last saw it, so I think it's just hidden up here.
There it is, up in there. All right. So as you go, as Slippery goes to leave, he notices that you see 3 men. They're waiting for you outside the rusted cage for you to get your shit together and to leave. And you can see there's one of them is a, sorry, let me refer to my notes here. Right, one of them is, there's a human, older, got a mustache, like, you know, it's like, he's got this big bushy mustache and gray hair, and he's wearing a cowboy hat. And there's a woman halfling next to her, and a rather burly dwarf standing with them, and they all have these little star-shaped badges on their jackets, and they're waiting outside the cage to speak with you.
And this
Should we look at the map first?
Well, I think it might be good for us to have a moment to talk once we are apparently attracting the attention of the entire town. Let's see what these fine folk want, and maybe we can meet up and figure out what to do from here.
All right, hello, Star Badges. Welcome to the Rusty Cage.
Hello there. When you guys are done picking up your stuff, please get on out over here. I want to have word with you.
All right. Well, I'll start walking. I've got everything.
All right.
I'm
So
good.
you guys exit the cage, and there's these these 3 official looking people there, and he says, I'm the sheriff here. I'm Randy Clementine, and these here are my 2 deputies. That's Edna Malabring and Carl Berrytop.
Nice to meet you.
Now, I just wanted to say, first of all, congratulations on your win in the Rusty Cage. I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure you're not from around these parts, and I wanted to tell you that nobody wins at these things. You're like kind of like a unicorn. I don't know what that means for the town, but it probably doesn't mean good things for you. And that also might mean that you're just even more trouble than the damn fanatics from the Toyota host or those damn knife orcs. It was like ninja sword knife orcs. So I'm here to also give you a warning. You better keep it in the green and keep it out of the red. If I find you in the red, you're going to be dead. I'm the law in this town, and I don't abide by any murdering or stealing or anything like that, so you better be on your best behavior, because it ain't just them you got to worry about. You got to worry about me. I don't like wrongdoers. We understand each other?
Yeah.
I think we do.
All right, well, that's it. Again, congratulations on your victory, and be on your way. And while you stay in Slave Town, behave yourselves.
Nice to meet you, Randy and Edna and Carlberry.
Yeah. We're a lawful
Hey,
bunch.
it's Kyle, it's not Cottleberry.
I'm sorry, I misheard.
I never in 1,000 years been called Carl Topper, Betty Carl. He kind of looks insulted.
If my skin weren't red, she would be blushing.
Yeah, and the sheriffs turn around and they make their way bow-legged with their spurs on their boots, walking off back to wherever they came from, and you're left by yourselves now.
All right. Well, now we know the law. I feel like we're going to get in trouble with those guys again at some point.
Well,
Only
we
if you
have a history.
steal murder. You planning something nasty? We need to talk about this.
No. Later. Not here.
You know, it occurs to me while we're divvying up our items here, I had a thought on our little excursion that Nash and I took. One of the key problems we seem to keep running into is that Nash, for reasons here unknown, seems to just occasionally burst into flames. Now, he told us not to worry about it, but it's happened twice now, and I'm at the point where I'm ready to worry about it. But I did have a thought. We found an item when we fought Quizquaz that when you put on, you said it felt like it was restoring vitality almost to you.
Yeah, and then I put it on Varel, but it didn't heal anything.
I wonder if it would have any impact on Nash. Maybe even if it would just prevent these outbreaks or anything like that. It might be worth a try just to see if guy ignites again.
Is this the horn thing? Is that the deal with the hilt? Is that what we're talking about, or is it a different object?
No, we're talking about it's a amulet, right? Or was it a ring?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
it
was
was an
that
amulet.
necklace.
Yeah, it's a necklace.
Well,
You'll
I'm willing to try. I don't like it either, you guys. I don't like bursting into flames either. It's not like I'm into it. Nash is very defensive about his bursting because he doesn't know why it's happening.
We should find a place to discuss this business away from prying ears, but this was a very important point to bring up, for we may not want to stay inside of a wooden inn.
It's a really good idea.
But everything here is wood.
And camping outside in the desert would be my preference, and certainly less flammable.
I have no problem with that.
I mean, at the very least, we should probably go and make sure that the Fate 4 is where they say it is and see what kind of condition they brought it back in.
That takes us, and referencing the map, it takes us down the Heaven Street to the parking, which would put us in the fanfare, everything. I grow rather weary of these politics after our travel and lockup. I feel that street, the sheriff's warning, some man is gonna jump out and be all, "Oh, I'm brave. You defeated, then if I kill you, then I get your prestige, and then we kill him, and then the sheriff's like, oh, you did it now," and
Well, we
the
don't have to
dominoes
kill
are
anyone.
laid.
We can just knock him out. Right? He said no killing.
And I'm not sure of the hierarchy yet, which is something I wish to discuss with you all in private. The principle seems to be more of a religion related to the Toyota. The government may be independent, and this sound may have been taken over in the past.
I mean, all of this is very possible, but regardless, we need a place where we can talk in private, and I'd feel much more comfortable on the Fate 4 than at any inn with who knows what around.
Well, then let's go. And I'll start walking down the main street.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm anxious to get to that car.
So you're going to Heaven Street? You're taking the Silver Trail to Heaven Street? Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or are you taking Arena Row?
Oh. Ooh, choose your own adventure. Let's do the silver since that was suggested.
I mean,
Okay.
silver puts us in way of shit eaters row, so we could always take that back way.
Yeah.
That's
So
true.
as we, all right. So I mean, Hope's walking down the Silver Trail. I don't know if you.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to assume everyone's following. You walk down the Silver Trail. There's a few houses, and then to your right, you notice it's a really smelly part of town full of these little shanties, and these like small little huts. And you see these disgusting little gray and brown creatures like hanging out in these fenced off areas, like these little farms. And you notice that there's a lot of activity in there. There are a lot of gnomes. And they're in there, and they're sort of flecked gray and black. They look a little bit like Eddie, actually. They're these dark gnomes, and they're all sort of working and talking with each other in gnomish. And it's just a very busy, but sort of rustic and very smelly part of town. Yeah. And so you continue on, or do you want to explore the pens?
I'll continue on. I'm gonna try and make a beeline
Because
to the car.
is anyone interested in the shit eaters pens?
I'll lean down to Stanley and say, "They have enslaved the children of the desert. This place is no good."
I agree with you. I cannot say that I'm particularly thrilled to be in this town.
So you continue on down the Silver Trail, and then you get to the main drag. And as you get to the main drag, there's a lot of people there, and they're dressed in these blazers. They look well dressed for people in the wasteland. You don't recall ever seeing like a whole settlement of people dressed in such a way. And they have these brown and grays, and the men wear these ties, and the women have these dresses that they're wearing. And they're, as you walk down, they're conducting their business, but you notice that everyone's stopping to stare in your direction, mostly at the lizard and the tiefling, because there doesn't appear to be many of those kinds of body types in the town. Now, the main road is not really a road; it is just a pile of mud and sand in the middle, where you see all kinds of tire marks, and it's very, very gross. Yeah, so you're gonna walk down to the parking lot and head on
Waving at people, smiling, keeping appearances,
Okay.
kind of a thing.
down. As you smile and wave at people, they sort of recoil back or pretend, they're not, pretend like they weren't looking at you, kind of thing. None of them react in a favorable way.
Is
But
it
as you
all
smile,
mostly humans that we're seeing?
you see humans, dwarves, gnomes, halflings,
An assortment.
dwarves,
All right.
gnomes. What's
Elves?
the other one? No, not elves.
Are
Halflings
the
and
gnomes-
gnomes.
No, the orcs.
Any of the
Yeah.
gnomes elevated, or are they all of the shit eater pens quality?
They're all of the shit eater pens quality.
Okay.
Moving about town, mostly human, dwarf, and halfling. There's no elves or tieflings that you see around.
Is the parking we're heading to the one on the far west of town?
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys move down and you see the insurance and speculations. You see the apothecary store. There's a bakery on the right side. There's a land claims office. Looks like a really big official wood building. And you get to a very large and ornate building, and it's called Ladlebing's Hotel. You see there are people hanging out in the front. There's a dinner service going on the main floor. To the left, there's a post office and this really cool looking antique and timepiece store. In the window, there's all these cool little engineering type things, engineering of like watches and like how they're opened up, and you see a really nice display in that window.
That
I'll
the
stop to
sapphire?
look at that for a little bit.
Is that the sapphire we're looking at?
No, you're looking at timepieces, antiques, and souvenirs across from Ladlebing's.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Yeah.
Next to the Goldbite Frobisher Holdings.
Yeah, and there's all these like watches and like watches in various state, like timepieces in various state of not disrepair, but had that have been open to show people like what's inside and everything. It's really nice display.
Sweet. Well, I'll just take a little peek inside and then keep on.
Okay, keep on going. You don't want to go in. All right.
No, not yet.
The next place is the Goldbite and Frobisher's Holdings. Looks like a bank. Looks as banks look. And then you get to the end and you see on the right side there's this place called the Sapphire. And it's got like the sign above looks like it's, the woods come off. It's like this really old sign, says the Sapphire on it. And on the second floor you see this man standing on the balcony in a pinstripe suit with a mustache and gray hair, and he's just leaning on the balcony and he's staring at you. And as you wave to him, he just nods his head at you. And on the left side is the Oil Beard and Sons Slavers Company, and it's the tallest building in town, and it just looks like a wooden fortress. All the windows have bars on them. There's no evident way on how to get into that building. Across the way from Oil Beards is Spillman Supplies. Looks like a home hardware or Canadian Tire kind of place. You guys don't know what Canadian Tire is, do you?
They sell tires. Yeah.
There's all kinds of farming equipment, mining equipment. Like you just see just equipment, hose, rakes, stuff like that from the window. It's full of equipment. And on
Funny
the other
enough,
end,
hose on the other side of the street too.
on the other end,
Yo,
you see the
zing!
Buxom Confederate, the place Slippery told you to go, and you see in the doorway there, a tiefling walks out.
Male or
Got
female?
a male tiefling with a beautiful coat, fine coat, and he goes to one of the railings and he just looks at it. He hasn't taken notice of you yet, but there's a tiefling standing in the doorway.
I'll watch him, but I'll keep on my way.
No.
I will.
Okay.
I will ask everybody: does anybody think we should actually go in and see what this individual wanted?
Kind of through my teeth, I think we're being watched in every step, and walking into there under the sheriff's eyes might be untimely.
We can
Sounds good enough to me.
we can go back
on-
is the main thing. We don't
on
have to do
walking.
it now. We can go back. Get the car. Let's make sure the car is okay. Then we can go back.
All right. So as you continue walking, the tiefling now you're hoping, but you in particular are paying close attention to this tiefling. You don't often see your own kind. In fact, it's the first time in the campaign we've run across another tiefling, I think. And he finally, you notice that he catches a look at you, and he just smiles and he gives you a polite nod
I give him a polite nod as well.
as he watches you continue on.
I lean over to her and go, "He's one of yours."
You fucking Captain Obvious with the
I'll nod
411.
at Nash. Yes.
Nash has the tact of a 5-year-old when it comes to race relations.
That's right.
All right, so all right, then as you continue walking by, on the left you see this, very ornate house. Doesn't have a sign on it, but on your map as you're placing it, that appears to be Wild Tongue's pleasure house. And on the right side, you see.
I have to ask: is Wild Tongues directly connected to the Buxom Confederates? So are we looking at different tiers of prostitution?
Yeah, they're connected.
Okay.
The buildings are there's no space between the buildings. If you had to guess, probably the two are somewhat related.
Okay.
That there could even be an entranceway between both buildings, right? So on the right side, there's Elmer's Books and Biscuits, this small little building. But as you look in, you see an old man, and he's reading a book and drinking something out of a cup. You see there's books in there.
Is he eating a biscuit?
No, he's not actually. And as you continue down, and on the right side, there's boom bottoms, explosives, ballistics, and there's seems to be a seamstress house. And it starts to eventually things start to get away from the downtown. It becomes just more buildings. You walk past what is clearly labeled sheriff's office on on the right side. And you see some stables, where to your surprise, you see horses in there, and there are horses in the stables. And this is a place for people to park their horses. You continue on down, and you get to the parking lot, and you see 50 or 60 vehicles of different makes. The majority of which are like the ones you saw that the Toyota Host were using, which are these old vehicles with makeshift weaponry and catapults and trebuchets on them, and places for people to sit that weren't originally designed to be sitting. And so you can't see the Fate 4 from the road.
Press the panic button.
No, not yet. I'm gonna head to look around, search,
Okay.
watch the parking lot.
So you walk through the parking lot, and after about 15 minutes, you find the Fate 4 way the farthest part of the parking lot, and there it is in all its glory. Little worse for wear, but for the most part, still intact. And some of the as you go through, open it up, make sure everything's okay. Your water's still in there. The meat starting to get rank, so all the meat is kind of is not really good anymore.
The worms are no good?
Yeah, well, the worms are alive, so they're still fine.
Okay. All right. Did Varel make a face when we walked past the horses that might be where you'd get your dinner?
I don't know. Yeah, horse meat's all right.
Seems like horse meat would be a thing Varel would get nice and excited about to me.
I climb straight up into the truck and just grab a handful of worms and plop myself down on the spot on the couch and just start dropping them in my mouth and going, oh.
Yeah, I'm also going to enjoy, as odd as it is to say about chew worms, our first good meal in a little while.
Yeah. Nash will eat one too.
We had a meal when we met the Magister. We have had a good meal.
Oh,
I
yeah.
take it back.
Much better meal than those worms.
I'm okay. I'm not eating the worms.
You put the worm up to your mouth and then you go,
I'm not hungry. Wait.
I go to the couch, or the thing that's by that window, the couch over there, and I'm gonna go sit on it and tend to my bleeding, oozing knee tumor that I screwed up when I kneeled. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it away. I don't want you guys to look.
I take it out of my coin purse and the little chain and drop it over in Nash's hand.
All right, I'll put this on. So I put it on. and I do I guess, can I do an arcane check on that?
On the necklace?
Yeah.
I mean, you guys know what it does. It's on character sheet. Hope's character sheet. She can explain to you everything that it does. You don't have to do
all right. I don't have to do.
Can't see
Passed
her
it to
character
Varel.
sheet.
Okay.
It should be on Varel's sheet now.
Is it on Varel's?
I never wrote it down.
Oh, you didn't put it in the...
Yeah, what's the wording?
It's called a periapt of health.
There we go. RP Hope knows that it makes her feel very healthy, but she has no clue. There's no magic acumen.
See, that's why.
Yeah, one of the weird things too about the way that they're doing it with 5e is that if you spend a long rest with any items that you find, you will eventually discover things about it. So
okay, enough to understand.
So even if you're not a magic user, like a lot
Gotcha.
unless it otherwise like indicates, or for RP purposes, we're doing it that way. We didn't really cover it, and I really honestly didn't find out till a few weeks ago when you guys were away that I was looking at this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I vaguely remembered what it did. I'm just super curious what something that what that would do to a guy like Nash.
Well, Bo will have to tell me, because if I can't do a magic check on it, I have no idea what it is.
I'll tell you what the item does, but I can't tell you what the results might be. That's for you guys to figure out.
Oh.
Well, you can add it, Scott. Go to your add items and add a periapt of health.
All right, hold on.
Or just type of health, like I did.
Yeah.
You don't have to spell periapt.
Where? I haven't had to do this before. Where do I do it? Equipment listing? Hold on.
Yeah, under equipment, hit add
go
items.
to your character sheet first of all.
Mm-hmm. That's where I am.
And then go to add items.
Hold on.
And then type of health in the search.
Where you
I want to make sure it's right. So under the equipment, the last expandable is add items.
Oh, there it is. All right. All right, give me the name again.
There's a lot of things of health, so it's called a periapt.
Peri.
P-E-R-I.
Found it.
It's a green item, wondrous item. Yeah, so click the add button to add it to your inventory.
Whoops, I have two now. Hold on.
We found a duping bug in Dungeons and Dragons, everybody.
Yeah, let me get rid of one of these. Remove item. Okay, I have it.
All right, so now you can read what it does.
You are immune. Yeah, or sorry, you go ahead. Go ahead and read it.
You're immune to contracting any disease while you wear this pendant. If you're already infected with the disease, the effects of the disease are suppressed while you wear the pendant.
Oh, interesting.
And considering you are a disease,
It's true.
we're curious what it'll do.
Put it on.
I mean, the problem is I don't know the thing where I burst into flames and have spirit visions and all that. I don't know what that is. So how do I know that's a disease?
But you know what's happened
You've
to
got
you. So you can draw some
tumors.
conclusions of your own.
Yeah.
The robot said you had something called cancer.
Yeah.
That sounded like a disease.
Yeah.
Is it the kind of item that I can sense right away? That there's a
Just
difference?
put on the necklace, Nash, and let's see what happens.
All right,
to
it's
you.
on. I'm putting it on.
All right, you put the necklace on, and you feel this alien feeling.
Okay.
It's a feeling of relief. All of a sudden, you're breathing. You can feel all the air going in and out of your nose, as if your airways have expanded 10 times open, and you can just breathe deeply. Oh, and you have so much oxygen in your system right now. It's making you lightheaded, and you feel strong. You feel like you could go out and run a bit or do something. Like you just feel young again.
Wow.
You feel great. You
Okay.
feel amazing.
All right. I look around and I say I don't want to get too excited, but I haven't felt this good in ages.
That's fantastic.
We can point you to the buxom Confederate if you're really feeling your oats.
We need to.
It's true. You do feel. You feel.
We can all
feeling,
pitch in if it's one of those pricey joints.
I don't know
You're
if
feeling
this.
a little virile, perhaps.
Here's the problem, though. I don't think this necklace is going to make it grow back. All right, so I don't have a wiener.
Grow back.
Wait, what?
Oh.
Is that true?
I lost it in the solar mines. I can't. I don't have it.
My apologies.
It fell
Oh
off.
no!
It fell off in all
We
the
don't know
radiation.
like tragic stories, but
I
that
feel like
might be the winner.
I didn't realize that was gonna be a thing with you. That's insane.
Well, I'm
Bo's
kind of
going
a.
Oh,
into
they're
homebrew
close in now?
creation
I'm
right
like-
now and creating a new wondrous item.
I'm like, yeah, you got to make that a magical item. But
I mean,
no,
your
I'm.
prosthetic penis.
I'm basically. I'm like a eunuch, but not forcibly so. I don't have. My wiener fell off with radiation poisoning. Just went
Right.
blah, and I went, all right, well, that's no good.
Now, do you carry it with you in case?
No, I
No.
kicked it under the bed and that was right around the time.
You say you kicked it under the.
I did. I booted it under the bed.
No, it all makes sense. He was jealous of the old man.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to see it because it reminds him.
Yeah, I
What
don't
he
wanna,
lost.
I already feel everything's lost in my life. I don't have an eye that works. I don't like this is just yet another organ that doesn't work right. So unless you're
Revelations on today's episode, and you waited for the most undramatic moment to drop it to you guys are in a parking lot. You like, I don't have a penis.
But what is it possible? I mean, I maybe I tell them this in confidence because we've grown closer in this strange experience we've had, but also maybe the amulet will grow. You know, maybe little Jimmy will come back.
It's gonna be like the
can't
little
talk.
hand in Deadpool.
The baby
I can't talk. I can't talk. Oh my god, you killed me, Scott.
I'm sorry.
All right, no more lore-heavy episodes. It's all combat from here. We can't handle it.
Whew.
My throat actually hurts
Oh, I don't want to do that to you.
laughing. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I wasn't saying much, so you guys can continue, I guess, for a bit.
so I'm really feeling it, but it's like phantom limb syndrome. I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling virile and excited, but the equipment ain't there.
What was this in context to? You were offering him to go to the Buxom. Oh, because he feels good from the Perry.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
Well,
said
you
I-
don't feel
yeah.
you don't really feel virile, I guess, after all. But you still feel good. You feel healthy. Feel strong.
All right,
Constitution resounding.
sweet.
So it ultimately feels like it's doing you some good, then, Nash.
Sorry. I got a little taffy down the wrong hole right when you said that.
See?
Yeah, I I can't explain it, but she's right. There's something to this. I don't know why I didn't work on the lizard, but these are great. I wish we had more of these. This is awesome.
I'm the picture of health.
And I don't have a way to tell, but it feels almost like the congestion, the thick, bulbous, nasty, tumory sacks of goo in my lungs have shrunk, have backed away, and first time ever, I feel like I'm getting real air in here in years.
Well, that's fantastic. I'm glad you're feeling better, and hopefully you won't be bursting into flames anytime soon.
That'd be great. I have no way of knowing though, so don't get too excited. I mean, if I do, I apologize in advance. That's not the plan.
All right. Well,
And I know I
think-
usually have some warning, so it's like puking. If I feel it coming, I can run outside and explode there. I don't have to do it in a wooden space or whatever. I have a little time. There's always just a little bit of time. My stomach hurts, and I can get out of there.
All right, Nash. Thank you.
You're welcome. Do I keep this thing on? Am I going to keep wearing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to? Totally yours.
Yeah. Does anyone else need it? I mean, I will keep it. I'd love to wear it.
No, Bo just described you getting to breathe for like the first time ever. No one on this team is going to be like, yeah, but I don't want to catch a disease.
Right. But it's technically hopes. I just don't want to assume that.
No, I only tried it on because I won the role, right, or something.
Yeah, or something like that.
I think
Yeah.
you described it first. It came off of
It was in that chest.
It was the quiz quaz.
Oh,
The late
yeah.
Queen Amelia was wearing it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think you just kind of grabbed it and didn't really ask anyone if they thought about it. I think you just kind of took it.
All right. Yeah,
Well, it's treasure. You were happy. You were excited.
I'll keep it on. It's in my inventory now, and I will wear that thing.
Well, now that we've addressed that, I think it's time to take a moment to examine the predicament we found ourselves in.
Hold on a moment. Are the windows still blown out?
Yes.
Then I will do a perception and look around to see if anybody's trying to spy in or listen in and followed us from town. 7.
Okay, you listen intently. You look for telltale signs of being followed. You don't discover anything.
All right, I lower my hand.
And that doesn't mean you can't tell definitively if that means that you just failed or if there in fact is no one following you.
We set out to rescue the people of Dust Hill. That was our goal when we left. And I think it's very clear that the situation has changed. And we're at a point now where I feel like we can't make assumptions anymore as to what we as a group want to do. I think we should take a moment and decide where everybody's head is at. Because near as I can tell, we could go back empty-handed. We could stay here. We could get the Fate 4 fixed up and go wherever we please. Or we can continue to try to get these people, potentially at great personal risk to all of us.
Well, we know Dust Hill's on the map for them. While the slave pins are right next to the parking lot, which is convenient for a break, they'll simply recapture them, and we would have to spend the rest of our days living in Dust Hill to make sure something like this would never happen again. There seems to be 2 different warring factions here, the Sharifs and the Principal. Perhaps both have fallen and are in need of new leadership. Perhaps this entire place should be burned to the ground. My favorite option.
I think we need to go up to Greasy Gandalf's used automobiles and see if there's anything that Hope can use. We don't need another car. I just mean, like, replace some of the stuff that got busted up. Maybe there's something there for us.
I mean, that's for sure on our short-term list to do, but Nash, where is your head at? Are you wanting to leave, or are you wanting to try to rescue our people?
I feel like we just got here. We don't know really what's in this town. We need to fill it out. We need to see what these people are staring at us. Check out that tiefling. Who's that guy in that window? Like, I don't trust anybody in this town.
There's one more element at play here that disturbs me greatly. You met gnomes beneath the sands, yes?
Yeah, we ran into 2 of them, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, we did.
Were they free folk?
They were shitheads.
Unfortunately, we didn't have much time to really talk to them. It was very chaotic down there. I know very little about them. I know that they got stuck down there together and, well, they never made it out.
But they were light, full of trickery, as gnomes should be.
They didn't seem oppressed in any particular way. One actually reminded me of myself. He was a downright swindler.
It is unnatural for a town to enslave such spirited folk, and I feel that the entire town must go.
Well, I need to fix my car before you burn it to the ground, because then you'll burn everything with it, and we'll be stuck here.
Well, sadly, the roads are made of mud, so I'd be burning one building at a time.
All right, so start at the other end, and maybe by the time you get down the street.
I think no matter what, anything we do, we're looking at being here for some time. We need to fix our vehicle. We need to restock and refuel, not just the car, but even ourselves. And to be honest, it's going to probably cost money that we don't have. Turns out chasing gnomes and checking out black site prisons doesn't pay quite as well as one might expect, and I don't think many of us are that well off at the moment. So,
Well, I'd probably have no trouble getting a job at the garage. They always need people that can fix things up.
one nice advantage to that is it puts you in a prime position to interact with their vehicles and potentially even fix ours for free if you can get away with it.
That's what I was thinking. It kind of happened in Dust Hill that way, a little bit. You know, it's a useful thing. Everything's breaking down in town, so if you're someone that can fix it.
One nice advantage to a town you don't care about is you don't care if you take advantage of them. I have no problem taking advantage of this place.
Because of the
In that
slavery.
case, we may want to set up in a local place and not sleep outside of town. You know, even in Dust Hill, sleeping in the garage, it's a little weird for people. And if we plan on taking this town with as different as the Lizardmen and I look, we need to keep up appearances a bit, I think.
I think that's a good idea. Vorel, I know you hate this place. I can hear it in your words and I can see it on your face. And I want you to know that I'm right there with you. I mean, we traveled together, but we don't know that much about each other. We've learned a little bit about Nash today, but overall, we don't know that much. And I grew up in a place like this. I grew up as a slave. I have no love for a town like this. I would like nothing more than to see it burn to the ground. But, Vorel, just like when you're hunting, sometimes you have to blend in before you can make the kill. It means we might have to make some friends with some unsavory people. We might have to do some things we're not exactly proud of so that we can put ourselves in the right position to strike.
There are also likely innocents here. I don't trust them either, but I don't feel good about killing those who can't protect themselves or fight. Some are here just to make a buck or to scratch out a living. Not everyone is a slave owner or a slaver. So I can't, my conscience only goes so far, and it's not the killing of innocents. I can't burn this whole town down without knowing.
And the villains would be forced out into the desert where they would take advantage of other towns as well. I agree. Might we settle one thing before we begin? Are we here to conquer or to purchase?
I don't have any money.
Well, we are here to save the Dusthillian slaves at the moment. Many probably are purchasable or have already been purchased and may need purchasing from another client. Are we going to make money as fast as possible, or are we taking over?
Ideally, I think we need a diplomatic solution. Whatever this principle may be, it's clearly big enough to have expanded into acquiring outside territories. That's something that you don't easily cross. I think diplomacy first, purchasing second, and if need be, we cut and run.
I like where Stanley's at. So I've put my staff down and stand tall and say, I say we listen to the elf. We do it his
It is
way.
reason. You'll forgive me. I must return to the desert for a while, at least this night. I have not been in the company of others for such extended periods of time, and, well, this town taxes me.
Will you bury yourself again?
Absolutely.
That is weird shit, but whatever turns your crank. Go for it. You be you.
Okay, so you guys are you leaving now, Vorel? Is it?
I stand up and head for the door and then turn back and say, what will you all do for the evening?
What time is it?
It's afternoon. The sun has already passed the noon crescent.
Well, I plan on hitting up the garage, securing a place, and then heading to the tavern.
Tavern?
I assume every town has some sort of drinking place, but I could be wrong. I'll start looking at the map.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant that as a tavern to Nash and Stanley.
I think what I'll do is I'll probably go and see if I can just get a feel for the town, and I might try to pay another visit to the Magister and see if I can get some additional information about the Dustilians we can't locate and how we might be able to peacefully acquire some of them.
I hope I'm going with you. Maybe they've got a bathroom there and I can clean out my crotch stump. It's a problem. I got to take care of it.
I'm sure we can find you something.
Wow.
Sure, she will be grateful for your company for that, Nash.
Yeah, but also I like little side hope adventures. They've been fun in the past, so I want to go with her.
All right, so if I've got this correctly, we're all going to hang out in the desert for sleeping and just to meditate. Hope and Nash. So you're going for a drinking hole. You take a look at the map. The two drinking centers on the place would be the Buxom Confederate and the Sapphire.
Oh.
I mean, the Buxom Confederate is
saloons.
much larger. They have larger square footage than the Sapphire, but I don't know if that means anything.
I
feel
don't know
like
if we could afford the Sapphire.
if we're gonna go into the Buxom Confederate, it might be a good idea to go together, seeing as we know someone there wants to speak with us.
Yeah. Well, then we can kill two birds with one stone. You can do your flim-flam politicking while we go do what we need to do there, and maybe it's all in the same place, or at least we're together when we start.
Yeah, sounds good.
Flim-flam
My first stop
politicking.
is going to be the Foundry. I want to see if there's anything that can be done with this metal spike and make it into maybe a...
Okay.
Better
You want to go
weapon.
to the Foundry? So Hope and Nash, where are you headed to?
The garage, and then we'll meet up at sundown
Yeah.
at the Buxom Confederate.
Is everyone meeting up at sundown at the Buxom Confederate?
The three of us.
Vorel?
Yeah, I'll be there as well.
Okay.
You don't have to, Lizardman.
I
I
know, but
understand.
if we do not appear there together, the town will do what they do best: gossip.
They're already doing that.
All right, so you guys start. You have your few words, and you part to go and do your individual things. That brings us to a break. I'm gonna go bury myself in sand, and be right back.
All right, everybody. Stay tuned. We're on a break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Wait a second. Where's the music? Here it is.
I'm actually going somewhere.
Oh, I'm going to go get a drink.